Your oldest child comes home from school with head lice, along with a note that they can't return until the lice are gone. After the screaming subsides, your trip to Google turns up some options, including shampoos, combing, Vaseline, mayonnaise, and an insecticide, pyrethrin, derived from chrysanthemum flowers, or permethrin, the synthetic version of it, recommended by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. But then there's the problem of lice eggs, or nits, still stuck to hairs and pillowcases. If you're a fan of ancient history, you now have an opportunity to comb through your child's hair and go nitpicking, just like early humans did and chimpanzees still do. Regardless of how you handle this situation, you'll come away educated about parasites, species that must live in or on other unrelated species to survive, and parasitism, the most common way of life among animals on Earth. That education, delivered by lice, should be useful when your other child comes home from daycare with pinworms, or from high school infected with bad ideas. Parasites are organisms that live in close, even intimate and obligate relationships with unrelated species, their hosts. That relationship is both physical and physiological, involving parasite use of host tissues and substances such as sugars and amino acids. Furthermore, parasites cannot survive without this relationship. Why do we believe that parasitism is the most common way of life among animals on Earth? The answer is simple. Every species that has been studied carefully has been shown to be infected with several different kinds of worms, lice, ticks, mites, and single-celled organisms known as protists, all in addition to bacteria, fungi, and viruses. For example, at least 40 different kinds of parasites, tapeworms, roundworms, lice, and so on, have been reported living in and on the robins that show up in North American backyards. Similar claims can be made for all familiar birds, but even the insects in your garden and earthworms down in the soil have parasites. How do those animals get infected? That's the same question you'll ask about your children with head lice and pinworms. That's the same question you'll ask when your children are older and get infected with ideas that change their behavior and are not consistent with your dreams for their futures. That's the same question the world has been asking while a virus sweeps across continents, leaving a trail of ignorance and death in its wake. This book is also about scientists who spend their lives trying to answer questions of transmission. In the process, learning important lessons from the parasites they study, lessons applicable far beyond the field of parasitology. These scientists are captivated by what they find when they cut up some animal and start digging through its guts.